Your engine is vibrating so violently that you can feel it through your seat cushions, and that terrifying little orange check engine light is blinking at you like a strobe light at a concert, telling you that your commute just got a whole lot more expensive. When you finally pull over and hook up your scanner, you see the code P2330, which means your powertrain control module has detected an unexpectedly low voltage condition in the primary control circuit of the ignition coil designated as K. Now, do not let that letter K throw you for a loop. It is simply the way the engineers at the factory label a specific cylinder in the firing order, so you will need to grab your service manual to see if that means cylinder 11, cylinder 12, or something else entirely depending on whether you are driving a beefy V8 or a monster V12. When we talk about the primary control circuit, we are referring to the thin wires that supply 12-volt battery power and the ground trigger to the coil, not the thick rubber boots or the high-tension leads that actually touch the spark plugs. This circuit is the absolute lifeblood of your ignition system because it carries the command from the engine computer telling the coil exactly when to release its massive energy. If this voltage is too low, the coil cannot build up enough electromagnetic strength to jump the gap of the spark plug, leaving you with a dead misfire that kills your horsepower and turns your fuel economy into a joke. One of the most common and honestly bizarre causes for this code is actually wildlife damage. Mice and squirrels love to nest on top of a warm engine block and chew through the soy-based insulation on your wiring harness, especially when the weather turns cold. To diagnose this properly, you are going to need your digital volt ohm meter and a lot of patience. Start by doing a very thorough visual inspection of the harness for any tiny teeth marks or frayed copper wires. If the wires look okay, you need to check for 12 volts of battery power at the coil connector with the key in the on position, but the engine off. If you see 0 volts, you likely have a blown fuse or a faulty relay that is cutting off the power supply. If the power is there, you will need to check the ground pulse coming from the powertrain control module while the engine is cranking. If the computer is not sending that ground signal, you might be looking at a much more expensive repair like a failed brain box or a software glitch that needs a ref flash by the dealer. Always remember to clear your codes after every test and take the car for a solid test drive to see if the problem was just an intermittent ghost or a real mechanical failure that needs your immediate attention to prevent damaging your expensive catalytic converters.